You're watching the rest this week, saying thank you for staying with us. We have Kevin Sowidi, Alex Gatundu, and Joshua Kipto. Joshua, you just wanted to make
a quick one.
Yeah.
When you talked about the issue of the president and the deputy talking about nusu mkate, it gives me some sense of excitement this way. Both sides are picking narratives that it is rather we talk before than after the election. When the president and the deputy president talk about nusu mkate, it is their campaign mode. They are telling their supporters, we are winning this thing. So, these guys are scared. But on the opposition end, look at their nature of conversation, crying wolf and picking out issues one after the other. That tells you something. I'm more confident that these elections will be fairer than the 2013 one because
you think?
People have made a lot of noises. The vigilance level is so high on both sides that the only way rigging can happen would be through outright violence. Okay. And that one is, you know, it is very difficult to perpetuate violence because that will be outright. Unlike 2013 where you could massage figures and here there, that is out of the loop. And the most important bit was when the court ruled on the final results at the polling station, the die was cast. Okay. I'm confident.
And now that you're talking about rigging, there's concern about the publishing of the voter register, and several leaders are on it. In fact, on KTN Prime tonight, we spoke to Rosalyn Akombe, and she said they have put it in their website, but without the ID numbers. So the question that I asked her, okay, so how do Kenyans get to verify without the ID numbers? Could we listen into what Kalonzo Musyoka had to say on publishing the voter register?
Julikane, the final results itakuwa announced kwa constituency level. Na bado tunasema IEBC must publish the register of all the voters. Kwa sababu hiyo register ndio tunataka tupatie kila kituo ile kamati ya watu watano tuwapelekeeni register yenu. Mjue wapiga kura katika Joseph Kang'ethe Primary School ni kina nani. Hiyo register muwe nayo hapa.
The IEBC must publish the register of all the voters. Cavins.
Linda, the issues here are bigger than even what you hear these people talk about. There are just too many to talk about in any single rally. Making the voter register public is the key thing to transparency of these elections. Because we have here raised issues with even registration of certain counties. Like we said, Kiambu has 1.2 million registered voters from a population of the last known one, 1.6 million, even less than Kakamega, which has only 746,000 registered voters. So when they publish this list, we would then use it as the members of the public to verify whether these registered voters in Kiambu are ghosts or they are real people literally living in Kiambu. Because Kiambu, the way it is, cannot have more than half the registered voters in Nairobi.
So from where you said that's the only way you're going to verify the
because
voters?
IEBC has failed to verify them. Because after the KPMG had gone through that thing to edit, they gave us a report that this register can be hacked by even any amateur in class 2. Okay. This very register is still using an administrator password, which is the default one, like 000 in it. So this register is seriously compromised, but we need to see it. Because you may check
does it make sense that Akombe says they have actually put it on their website, but without the ID numbers?
I hear they are without ID. I have not found out.
She said that tonight.
Yes, but again, putting it on the website, how many people can access the internet in Kenya out of the 19 million registered voters?
Okay, to be fair, she said if they have to print that, if they have to publish that, that would take like an entire newspaper.
The moment it is handed over to the media to publish it, that is game shot.
Alex.
Whether you will be able to do it or not.
Of course it is impractical to go that route that he's talking about. Secondly, and most important of all, remember what the law says. Online publication. I personally confirmed today, and I even downloaded. So I can confirm to you, and even to your viewers, that actually they have complied with the law. As to whether anyone has a problem with that register that has been published, then that is the very purpose for which the publication will be done. You raise these issues. That is why Section 6.1 has categorically stated, do it online and any other method. Yes.
Okay.
Linda,
so they have complied with
Linda.
But
what first of all, what does the law say? And then second of all, tell me what you
No, he is very correct when it comes to the publishing online and any other, including hard copy. But that's not the the main point. Why do we forget it had to take a fight? It had to take a struggle. It had to take a jolling. It had to take Africa going to court for IEBC to produce the register. What answers did they keep giving us all the way? They kept giving, one, we're still auditing, two, even if you're to publish, if you need a copy, pay 20,000. Then finally, they say we are publishing, but minus ID number. You know, the missteps and their intention and their manner of dealing with the issue leaves a lot to be decided. In fact, if you ask me, KPMG did nothing. It was a taxpayers' money went to to a loss. They do better business out there in private, and if that amount of money was to audit the register, they failed terribly. One, they only gave us pointers. They say possibly this register may have up to 600,000 dead voters, but they say we can pick out 98,000. Okay. IEBC didn't follow through how many they have removed. Then even getting the register out here, how many? In fact, if you remember the first time they gave us some code and told us that you can cross-check your figures, and again there were issues. Surely. It doesn't need a rocket scientist to see.
Does it bother you?
It bothers me a lot because it is a problem of our institutions. Yeah. You are given billions. You are told do the simple thing. A register, a database.
Okay, so can I finish what I wanted to ask you? Does it bother you that they say they have put the names in their website, but minus the ID number?
It bothers me a lot.
I mean, you can put Linda Ogutu, 5 of them, and because there's no ID number.
M-Pesa, when we go transaction on M-Pesa, we use ID number. What's private about that? Secondly, when you go to political parties, I can get your ID number. Linda, is it so difficult for me? A citizen platform can give me your ID number, for heaven's sake. It is nothing. In fact, it doesn't sell. Now that I know from day one, they never wanted me to see the register. I don't care when they tell me about the ID number. I already remember they never wanted me to see the register. That will stick.
Okay, Kavins.
Linda, you know, if you go to Mombasa now, you will find the whole city is sharing about 30 names only. So if this register were to be made public with the ID numbers, I can promise you, you will find one ID number repeated 16 times. Okay. And this is the reason why they don't want to show up this register. On the first day, the 7000 was given. I checked the number 134. It gave me a Luo voter in Roysambu.
Akombe says they had issues, but at least they've sorted them out.
So how do we know they have sorted?
They have to make it public.
Okay, show us the numbers.
I think, leader, the most important thing is not the absence of the ID number.
Oh, trust me.
Yes,
it
is the reason. No, the reason. No. Let me finish.
How many Alex Getundu do we have?
Alex, let me finish. Yeah. Did the good lady tell you the reason why they have removed or truncated the ID number? Because that is what I would be more concerned with. If the reason given is petty and convincing.
She said they need to protect Kenyans.
Can I say it's petty because
you
privacy?
Protect Kenyans. To that extent, I agree with these two gentlemen. If you are trying to protect Kenyans, the ID numbers is not even a private affair in Kenya.
It's not public.
It's public information.
Yes,
so
it is not.
So you're all in agreement that they need to publish, but plus the ID numbers that people can verify.
Unless they give us a more cogent.
They don't have any.
There is no reason. If there was any, you'd have it.
We were given to them because if that is the only reason, then that cannot
I think Alex has answered how many Linda Ogutus we have. If we have 10 of them. So who is which?
Listen, people, before we wrap this up. So we had the presidential candidate running mates debate last Monday. And only one running mate showed up. That is Eliud Mathiora Kariara. And of course, we also have another one on Monday, the presidential debate, of course, focusing now on the main candidates. Kavins, what are your thoughts about what happened last week?
Linda, what is happening? We have politicians in Kenya. They don't like dialogue. They don't like what we are doing here. They like monologue, people they are talking to and have no right of reply.
Sure.
That is what they want. That is the only reason why they didn't appear there.
Though they were saying, basically they were discriminated against. They wanted to be in the 8 p.m. one of the two candidates who had more than 5% in a popularity opinion poll.
There is no single reason that can work for both teams because even in the first one, we only had one person out of 6.
Yeah.
Then in the other one, we had nobody.
They didn't even show up.
So there cannot be a singular reason which explains why they didn't come. The reason which explains why they didn't come is that they don't want a place where they can be interrogated for what they say.
Including the running mates for the other 6, forget Kalonzo and Ruto?
Yeah. They don't want to say something and then they are interrogated.
Alex?
You get what I mean?
I think we must, Rita, we must all admit that the way this entire thing was organized was not proper. It was not done in an organized manner.
What wasn't proper about it?
First, remember, what did Raila and Uhuru say initially? They said that we were not consulted. Then you people countered and said we were constantly in touch with them. Secondly, they said we were not involved on the venue. We did not agree on the venue. We did not agree on the TOR terms of reference. We did not agree on the topics. We did not agree on who was supposed the audience. And thirdly, we did not agree on what kind of questions can be, or range of questions that can be agreed. Now, remember, this is not the first time that we have held. We need last time. Yes, we had it. So I disagree with him. It's not a new thing. We had it. Although the president, of course, Uhuru at that time, he was not an incumbent. Having said that, I think, and I'll repeat what I said last time on the issue. I would tend to agree with both Raila and Uhuru when they raised those concerns, and they said that those concerns were not taken care of. Remember what I told you the last time. The moment these two gentlemen decided that they are not going to participate in this in the debate, that you are supposed to have gone back to the drawing board, reorganize and redo the whole debate.
But you do know theirs is coming up on Monday.
Yeah.
No, but you see now,
I think we did not need to cast Raila and Uhuru here. Theirs is Monday. Let's deal with these other people.
The ones who didn't show up.
Yes.
but the issues are the same, remember?
Okay, wait.
Yes.
So, Joshua, do you think Raila and Uhuru should show up for the Monday debate?
If it is a face-off between the two, I would ask them to show up. Look here, their initial concern, if I remember, minus all those others that came after, TOR and everything, their initial asking was simple: give us a face-off between the two of us, which made a lot of sense. We know we are borrowing this concept from established Western democracies, and they always have that first tier, second tier. That's why someone was commenting that even in a football league, we have the Premier, we have the Championship, so we know that. The Wainainas and the Kura Okots, we can give them their platforms, and we will enjoy seeing them giving us alternative views, and we'll say, okay, fine, maybe we should now move away from this Jubilee NASA thing. But when it comes to the point where we are right now, where decision it is the decision time, you find that you would understand their concern that why should we debate in a platform of so many of us, labs 5, 6, where we have very limited time to share and cross-check. We don't give the voter the value, because at the end of the day, as where we stand, it will be a fight between Raila and Uhuru, period. So you are trying to help the voters make a clear decision. We have a very tiny minority of undecided. Majority of Kenyans are decided. I would put it like 8% are undecided.
So basically, it's in their interest to show up for the debate for the undecided vote.
It is very important, but I don't think the president will show up. From their body language, their communication,
nice.
I don't think he'll show up.
You don't think?
I support Owidion saying one thing. Kenyan politicians fear that kind of... like you see, in 2013, it was exciting for them because it was first time we were doing it. And secondly, there was no incumbent. Now you have the incumbent president, and then you have Raila. So
but let me ask you, from where you sit, do you think they should show up? Is it in their interest?
Oh, they should.
They should.
In fact, it is so good for us, for heaven's sake, to see them. You know, for once, look at the value of that. All media houses, the radio stations, you have the entire audience. It's like having one rally for the entire country.
And you have the
I disagree when he says that the reason why they the two gentlemen should show up on Monday is because of the undecided. That is very unfair.
You
It is for everyone.
Unfair?
Let me finish.
Okay, finish.
It should be for everyone, including I.
No, Alex is sold out.
The only problem I would have, is if the peripheral, I'm deliberately calling them the peripheral candidates, show up. I mean, it will matter up the entire debate.
Their own debate.
Yes, let them have their own debate. If it is only for the two gentlemen, then Uhuru has no excuse whatsoever for not attending. Raila has no excuse whatsoever for not attending, and they will be doing us voters and taxpayers also. Remember, a lot of disservice if they do not attend, because when you are going out to ask for votes, you are expected also to account to the voters. If you are an incumbent, you account
And
to
this
them.
is the one time you have all
What have I done with the 4 years? For Raila, remember, he is also going to be on the chopping board as the leader of the opposition.
What has he done?
What have you done? So it is not even a matter of the incumbency having to account. Even Raila himself will have to account to the Gatudus of this world. We gave you this job of being the leader of the opposition. What have you done with it? Out of 100, what should we give you?
And probably this is the one time you have all TV stations, all radio stations.
It is a one big rally for the entire.
And by the way, it is free. Remember, it is even free.
It's not free. Just advertising.
I did not understand how a politician who is honest and worth his soul can refuse to speak to the whole country in one go.
It's a big deal.
In fact, even if there are few people who are in the market, the moment they arrive back, they will be told what really transpired.
Sure.
So they will have spoken to the whole country in one go. And these are the very people who keep on fighting the media that they are not given fair coverage. And here is free coverage, well organized, and you even advertise for people that on this day, we will have these 6 gentlemen come and listen to them in every radio, watch them on every TV, and then they refuse to come.
My prediction, Linda, I think the opposition leader will show up because they lost an opportunity the other day. You can imagine if Kalonzo, because you know, Jubilee is an incumbency. They have their own communication channel, and you see they have muzzled out the opposition when it comes to advert. So it was the best chance for NASA to take up. If Kalonzo would have showed up against Kariara, you know, focus would have, the optics would have been on Kalonzo. Anyway. But how did he fail to show up? It is them who need to snatch the victory. The government only has to protect its staff. So my prediction would be, I think the NASA guys took that.
So we are predicting now.
I predict Raila may show up, Uhuru, I'll give him 10% chances. If it comes to the point, maybe over the weekend, his strategists look at Raila guaranteeing to come, I think he'll show up.
If Raila guarantees.
Because, for heaven's sake, Uhuru is more eloquent than Raila. So he would see it also as an opportunity to show up.
What I suspect, I think what I suspect is going to happen, remember Raila and Uhuru, they are always talking. I mean,
By the way, that is the most important thing.
You can rest assure leader. You can rest assure leader. Even the initial decision to raise all these complaints against the way it was, the debate was organized, you can rest assured they called each other. I mean, these guys are buddies.
They're friends.
Yes,
at the end of the day.
So before March comes, they will agree on whether they
grew up together.
But we can't say they are the best of friends.
Neither are they the worst of the enemies.
Linda, these people fear technical questions.
Sure.
Just assume President Uhuru goes there and somebody asks him, Your Excellency, how long would Kenyans take to recover the 327 billion you spent on the railway from Kenyatta to Nairobi? When we collect 1 million a day, that means 1 billion a year. That means we need 327 years to recover the money. Is it worth it? When it's actually employing 400
already preempting the
Chinese.
20 seconds on that, Linda. Do you know why I understand that's a difficult thing? Jubilee has done so well in marketing themselves. But when you give them a sit down and pack what they sell, you would find them literally running away and tell you, no. So I would understand why it would be difficult to answer such questions. Like simple things like food security.
30 seconds
on one point
each.
they say food security, but there's no longer on this other
Okay,
thing.
listen, 30 seconds each. For the 6 candidates who did not get at least 5% support in opinion polls, should they, because they have their own debate from 7, I believe, 5:30 to 7, and they're saying they want to be on the same podium with both Raila and Uhuru. What are your thoughts?
You cannot put them on that same
30
podium.
seconds.
Because first of all, these are people who have nothing to lose. They will say anything, talk anything, and have nothing to lose. They will not have the caution of gentlemen in this thing. We saw when the gubernatorial debate was done, which you sponsored, and it was horrible.
Alex?
You can't put Uhuru and Raila and the other peripheral candidates together. I mean, it never happens anywhere else in the world. You tear them. You tier presidential candidates. You give the peripheral candidates their own platform, their own venue, and their own opportunity, and they air their views and they critique the government how they want. But you can't. When you put everyone together, what happens? You do not even get time.
Value for your time.
Yes, you do not.
Joshua,
30 seconds,
the last
say,
word.
When Alex says you tire them, my next answer would be, who tells these peripheral candidates that we won't watch? We will watch. We will remember. look at one person who lost opportunity. Dida in 2013 caught our attention. And then I think it got into his head that after the election he disappeared. Now he shot back again. So you want me again to give him attention. Yet for the 5 years when I needed him, he earned my attention in 2013. And I said, this is the right guy. So for those guys, we can guarantee them that we will watch. Kenyans love politics. We will watch. But that does not now give them the chance to say we need to sit with. Because when it comes to Raila and Uhuru, every single sentence, movement, comment makes a difference.
Coughing.
People, allow me to wrap it up on that note. Kevin Sowidi, Alex Detundu, and Joshua Kipto. People, thank you so much for your time. It's been such a pleasure looking at what has happened this entire week. And we'll do more of this as we head towards the election, just to help you understand and know what has been taking place politically in the country. I'm Linda Gutu. Sleep well.